episode 172. I am your host, Mark Segovia, alongside my co host, Andres. What's going on, Andres?
How's it going, sir? Man, no Dynamo for a week felt like forever, and I've been stuck with the time change and the World Baseball Classic. But I've been busy though.
That's good, man. Yeah, it was kind of a hardship, man, to not have them to have a bye week so early in the season. Obviously the excitement of, kicking off the new season, the new players, and all this stuff. Obviously, we didn't we week two was kind of a bit of a downer per se, to say the least. But we're up again, back at home this weekend. We'll talk about that game against the Timbers and obviously the fallout from week match day two and all the red cards that we accumulated that game and the possibilities and the formation and players that we should expect to see on the pitch that game. But with all that being said, obviously, like I said, early bye week, but not because it was scheduled because of weather and up in the northeast section of the country, a lot of snowstorms over there and stuff like that in New England Revolution, and MLS felt it that they couldn't proceed with the game. So the game has been rescheduled to early August 8th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Andres.
Yes, and honestly, like I'm also impressed at the fact that MLS had to reschedule that like 2 weeks in advance because if it was like that serious, MLS doesn't reschedule for anything in the world. So that snowstorm must have been insane.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Obviously, because it's an Eastern Conference foe, we're only going to see them once this season, and obviously it's at their place. So, had it been a Western Conference team, I think they could have flip flop, and we could have played the home game here, our home game here, and obviously reverse it the other way and play the away game on their turf later on. But with that being said, it has been rescheduled. New England will be there. Will be there August 8th to see our old buddy Brooklyn Reigns. OSG, what's going on, my guy?
Yes, sir.
You must have overslept. Nap time was that good?
What's up? What's up? What's up? We're here. We're here. We're here. We're doing it.
Man, rejuvenated. Glad to see you, my guy. Anything you want to say to the people out there?
Nah, what's up, man? Hey, how y'all doing? We'll see you at the tailgate at 4 o'clock before the Portland game. Dare y'all to be there.
For sure. Shout out to the Surge and Texanian Army, all those guys doing the tailgate or over there in front of the stadium. Not sure what kind of meal plan they'll have out there for you guys, but obviously a lot of drinks. A lot of the drinks will be flowing out there. But with that being said, obviously, like I said, LSG, I think you caught the end of it. I just mentioned the rescheduled the New England game. August 8th will be the game. But speaking of rescheduling and things of that nature, we do have a new player coming into the Houston Dynamo just ahead of time because obviously, like I mentioned, we are down two players this upcoming match day because of red cards, and obviously we don't know yet as far as Ponce or Andrade how their availability. They're both of them weren't available match day two. I do feel that Andrade will be, but I'm not too sure about Ponce. If you guys had know anything about that, let me know. But Ibrahim Aliyu, our Nigerian prince, has returned
Yeah.
from Columbus Crew.
He is him.
After he is him after an 11th month loan. Scored a grand total of 3 goals and 2 assists under and the Columbus Crew last season. He comes back to our beloved Dynamo on a 250K fee worth of Garber bucks, with a potential of it to moving up to 750K depending on whatever incentives that he may hit that was agreed upon by both clubs. OSG, I haven't seen you in a while. Haven't talked to you in a while, so I'll go with you first, my guy. Ibrahim Aliyu, you happy?
Oh, am I happy? No, absolutely not. I thought we could have done something different and brought somebody in different for a right back. Right back, by the way. Right back. Not up top wing, but he is playing the Dorsey position, so he is going to get to overlap and play the right wing position. So crosses, we don't have a problem with. Shooting, we do. So I think he's a great defender. He's aggressive. He plays his role. Oh, but man, I'm not happy, but I'm okay with it.
G Money in the chat says, according to Foot Mob, he was $227, which, hey, uh,
It went up to 228, by the
uh,
way.
so some of the guys here might feel that it was still an overpay, but but who knows? Andres, your opinion on the return of our Nigerian prince?
Honestly, from the start, from the beginning, when I saw the rumor from Tom, I was like, "What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, we got rid of him on for a reason." And I felt like initially we made a pretty good deal with Columbus because if you recall from back in
Right.
2015, we did get not Gam, we got straight up cash, like
Yeah,
$450,000, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. And that's on top of the performance incentives.
which would
Like,
not hit.
yeah, I don't like. Look, I definitely prefer cash over Gam, and the Dynamo did spend Gam to get Aliyu back, and I saw the announcement, well, the rumor, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, "There's no way he's gonna be a striker or a winger like up top. He's gonna be a wingback for sure because like he has no room up there, and the main reason we are, if even just thinking about that possibility that he has to be here because we are severely looking for a wingback right now, because we kind of just saw Dwayne Holmes being there, and he's been struggling in that position for now. Obviously, he just started playing there, which I don't blame him for. But at the same time, we need a player that's kind of just familiarized with that position already. And and look, I'm kind of okay with him just taking the fact that he's gonna be dropped back. But man, like Oishi said, I was more so expecting a player that's already established into that position or another defender because we kind of talked about it last time, but like we are one center back away, or like one of the starting center backs away from like injury from being injured before we are in trouble in the back line. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it a little bit in that last week's show. Obviously, the shortness of our bench, and then obviously it being shorter due to the red card accumulations by the two by Carlos and Borsat. So obviously I kind of felt that there had to be a move to be done to kind of help cover that. Did I expect Aliu's return? No, obviously I did not. But one thing I noticed, obviously, especially with the Tom rumor, and then obviously with Asher and the Dynamo confirming that he is coming back, that they emphasized him being a wing back, right? And which obviously, look, obviously, you're bringing back a player who doesn't need that much time to acclimate into Ben Olsen's system. He's played with Ben, he understands what Ben wants, and Aliyu for I guess for if you're gonna look on the positive side, the guy does run up and down the pitch like no other, and he will give his all running up and down the pitch. Now, whether or not he can help defensively or help out in some way with the flow on the offensive side of the ball is to be determined, I guess. We'll see what he learned up there in Columbus, 11 months in Columbus. But like I said,
He's another Griffin Dorsey, Mark. He's another Griffin Dorsey, and he's gonna do a great job. And he attacks. He's attack minded. He aggressive. He plays back. He's another Griffin Dorsey. He just doesn't pump the crowd up, and we're not excited about him because he can't shoot and doesn't
well,
finish. But he'll get his crosses off. He'll beat those defenders. He'll use his pace to his advantage. He'll get us into advantageous places. So this three back situation is still a three back situation. Remember, Andrade is also returning. Also, Ben, who also, when we sign new players, are they fit? It takes them 2 months to return to the game because they're not fit. Aliyu knows Ben's system, so let's see how fast Aliyu gets to play for the team.
Oh, and
yeah.
he's
So
he's absolutely starting this Saturday though. Like Ben's Besties original, he's absolutely gonna start.
Hey, we find out tomorrow morning, by the way, in the presser when Ben gets asked all these questions. It has been announced, so it's official. So we find out. We find out for real.
yeah, I mean, and like I said, like you said, you mentioned, he's another Griffin Dorsey, but at 1/4 of the cost. Griffin Dorsey netted us $1 million. This
Right.
this guy's we're paying 250K for. So if he gives us Griffin Dorsey numbers and attributes and stuff like that, I don't need to be pumped up by a player. Like I said, I'm good. But like at the end of the
Side
day,
note, he has
at the
not played yet this season. 1 minute.
yeah, and at the end of the day, it's a player who understands the system and they need bodies. Like I said, our bench is really depleted right now. Especially like again
Right.
with the injuries. Obviously we're gonna have players come back like Andrade, but obviously we don't know how much time Andrade will be given. I mean, you don't want to rush a player who just came off injury that quickly. Obviously, I know
He
he's been
played for
playing.
Dose 2 games
Yeah,
in a row. He's
he's been
ready.
playing for Dose, but the intensity of an MLS game compared to a MLS 2 game is G League to
Fitness.
NBA.
Fitness.
So it's just one of those things. But like I said, I'm not obviously Aliu. He left he left the fan base with a sour taste in our mouths because obviously he wasn't scoring the way we expected him to score because of his so-called talents and availability to outpace his defenders. But as a wingback, there's different expectations, and maybe he can live up to those, and he can kind of get back on the good graces of the Forever Orange fan base. Anything else you want to add on the Aliu return OSG?
No, man, I think we just need to see the positivity from the fan base and give him a chance in a new position, in a different position that we think he can perform in. So y'all hang out, just wait, let him play, and then we can go back to whatever we want. But I'll see y'all at the tailgate. I'm gonna get y'all's opinion at the tailgate. I'm gonna be asking y'all what y'all think about Ibrahim Aliu's return to Houston.
Yeah,
So be ready.
Wise2WK on the chat says, I don't think so as a striker, but wingback okay. And they pay less for it. Hashtag still scarfing. I mean, like I said, I mean,
Need money too.
like I said, I'll repeat myself. If he brings us Griffin Dorsey attributes and numbers like OSG mentioned, hey, you're getting it at a fourth of a price, and you're getting it from a player that already knows the system, so it shouldn't need that much time to get acclimated to whatever Ben Olsen is asking of him and the coaching staff. So I mean, it's a win-win in that case. Andres, anything
Hashtag
else you want?
positive vibes.
Yeah, anything else you want to add to this, Andres?
Yeah, the main one I wanted to mention, if you guys saw the latest tweet from Ashley Mendelson about Liu, obviously he clarified that he's going to be a wingback, and of course he's not going to be taking over an international spot since he already has a green card, and it's also going to be taking an R22 spot, which is good. And the most important one as well is the fact that he mentioned that it's going to provide space to make moves before the window closes, which is going to be closing 2 weeks from now. So we'll see what happens from there if it's going to be signings coming in from the league, but something to think about.
Yeah, Chad G Money asking, what about Weissner? I don't know. Obviously, you guys are more in tune with the availability report, and obviously, you guys following Dynados, and I think Weissner was available for a Dynados game last week. I think he played, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he played against
How,
Tacoma Defiance, and I wouldn't be so confident with him being on the first team yet because he's coming in off a bad injury. One of the players that was signed while injured last year, but he's looking pretty good. Honestly, I'll definitely recommend checking out those games because he's growing into his role, and he played a significant role in the win against Tacoma.
So what I'm hearing is you probably stay at Dynados until he builds up his fitness and is ready to get going with the first team. So no Weissner for the near future right now, but obviously he's down there playing games, playing regular minutes, and obviously trying to get his fitness up and get the understanding of what the coaching staff is expecting of him once he does make his first team debut. Sergio Celaya, what's up, Sergio? That's president of the Surgeon for you guys who don't know. Dale Dynamo. Why says, wasn't he our co-scoring leader? Aliu, yeah, for that's the unfortunate thing that one season Aliu was our goal-scoring champion with 6 goals. I forgot who it might have been with Ponce, who was
Yeah.
who came in half of the year that year. Uh, so shout out to Wise 2 Week throwing out those stats out there. But yeah, man, obviously, like I said, this will be the last thing I say about Liu. Obviously, he comes in at a time where minutes are available, and obviously we need the depth because uh, two players down on red cards. Obviously, not knowing until tomorrow who's available off of injury. It's going to really determine, whether or not we do see Aliu. I think Andres said it earlier that he does expect Aliu to play in the game as a starter. I'm not sure whether or not he goes above Dwayne Holmes in that situation. I guess one will see. OSG, you keep waving. What's going on, man? You want to say something?
No, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I think we see Aliu in the game, but I think Holmes does start, and then Andrade does become a situation where he may be a player who could start at that right back as well. So we'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see tomorrow morning in the press conference for a lot of interesting comeback from Ben.
Yeah, I think it just gives the opportunity for where Andrade does get on the match day 18 because obviously you need 18 players to be on the match day 18. But like obviously you don't have to rush him in quickly if he might not be yet ready to go for
Oh,
let's say a
Mark, he's
full
not
45.
rushed in. He's been practicing with the team every day. He's been playing for Dose. He's
Yeah.
built back in. He's ready to go. You are missing Antonio Carlos, obviously. So you have Arthur. Eric had a little injury. Is he going to be 100%?
Yeah.
So Negri is also there. So which one? Ben will
And
probably start Holmes, but Andrade is a piece. And then obviously you have a Liu too. So you have three options. So we're going to be secure to give the fans some relax.
you
Leave is
also
here, but we have support.
you also
Yeah.
have the young Argentine kid, Agustin Resch.
Yeah, I was in Rush.
Yep. Yep.
No, and
Love
whatever happens
it.
with Aliu this year, I'm gonna tell you right now. We're gonna start the
Bold
little
statement.
the postcard that says we are sorry. We're gonna sign it first. Us three, we're gonna sign it first, and then I'm gonna make everyone on Twitter sign it
There
so
you
we can
go.
give it to Aliu.
There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
Andres, does Juan get to make the postcard and we have to sign it?
Yes. I'm gonna ask Juan Pereira from Bio City Soccer to sign it
Yeah.
to make it for us so we can all sign it.
For sure, for sure. That'd be a nice gesture for Aliu. But with that being said, guys, obviously this weekend we have match day 4, fourth week of MLS play. Our third time at home against the Portland Timbers, and hopefully third time's a charm too, man, because we had one good week against Chicago Fire, or one good half against Chicago Fire, and we had a shitty performance against I don't remember who we played.
LAFC.
LAFC. So obviously we're hoping that this match against Portland this Saturday is a good one at home. We're expecting to be beautiful outside. It was a beautiful day today. I'm not gonna lie. I wish the game would have had been today. It was a really nice day. But with that being said, obviously, guys, what do you think about obviously three home games to start off the season? It's obviously last year it being our worst home point accumulation total ever. Last year being our worst ever in club history. What are you looking for as far as this game against Portland? Obviously, the Timbers are not one of the. It's not the Timbers of the Diego Valeri era. These Timber teams are kind of more of on the bottom of the end of the table. But what are your thoughts on this game, OSG, and what you're looking to see?
Look, with the two red cards, the two missing players, Antonio Carlos and then Bozet, looking to see what Andres Samaseco is that how you say it? You always say
Diadie
it.
Samaseku.
Yeah,
Semaseco.
I expect him to start in Bozet's place. And then with Carlos missing, Negri's probably going to get to start, and Halter will have to slide in a little bit. Hopefully, Eric is in shape. Maybe he might be the center back, and Halter goes on the other side of Eric. And then, the biggest question mark that we've been talking about all night is who's the right back. So I'm not worried. Portland to me is not a threat. I'm not worried about Portland. I'm worried about how are we going to play and how are we going to advance our game, but I like what we've been doing so far. I believe in it, and I'm positive with how we're going to perform in this game and our results. Portland is a good team to play with two players being suspended for this match.
So my question to you is: Simasenko over here or Achache?
No, yeah, absolutely. 100%. 99.9%. Yes, absolutely. It you know, I hear where you're going. So I do have, but Samaseko is a better player right now, better synced. Ben likes him. I can understand where Achache could get the start, but Portland is we're gonna be just because we're gonna be attacking, and then you make a sub at halftime and Achache's out of the game. Ache is at most a 45-minute player. You start, you take him out at 56 if you let him get past halftime. So Samaseko, Andrea says it perfectly. So we're gonna have to put that on a TikTok and and this on repeat and everything. He will be the starter in both us plays. 99.8% for sure. Sorry.
I like all the percentages. I like all the numbers you throw out, OSG. Let me throw out another. Do you think Linger is given another opportunity since he really wasn't really given the opportunity because of all the red cards in the last match against LAFC to start at the nine, or does Markinich, who had a great preseason, as we all know, get the opportunity to start in case Ponce isn't available? Obviously, we'll find out if Ponce is available on tomorrow. But in case he's not, does Linger get the start over Markinich?
Yes. Unfortunately, would love Markinich to get the start and give the opportunity with the first team with the boys. We know what Linger can do, but Markinich is a threat who can score, who's a proven scorer, not in MLS, but has done it, knows how to do it. Linger is struggling. Put Markinich in as a starter. Yes, absolutely. Put him as a striker. Need that, but Linger will be the starter because we all know Ben. Ben, if you're listening, you still have time to make the change.
Andres, I'll come to you. Your thoughts on the game against the Portland Timbers? Obviously, like I said, the last home game left a bad taste in our mouth. Do you agree with OSG as far as Simasenko over Ache, and do you think Linger gets to start at the nine over Markinich if Ponce is not available?
Honestly, going back to the midfield, I feel like having Samaseku starting might be the best call because just having uh, Hector's experience coming off the bench, it's going to be the best thing for Houston because without Antonio Carlos and Chiqui Busad, I feel like we're going to need somebody to track back and get those long balls or those through balls because the one thing for me that stood out, especially against LAFC, was just the fact that we've been like providing a lot of spaces, and without that type of experience and that vision of the game, I feel like it's gonna hurt us, and that athleticism to catch up to those players. And so yeah, the idea for sure. And I wouldn't mind if like Hector like was kind of just the first was starting first, but then again, if we don't have that athleticism to catch up to the through balls, because Portland is going to be one of those teams that they're kind of in a similar situation to us, but they have a ton of good attackers. So I believe for now we should be okay with the idea like starting and then Hector coming in the second half. And in the front line, honestly, I would definitely be okay with Marcanic starting, even though I feel like Linger had a good game against LAFC. Yeah, he was creating a lot of chances. It kind of sucked that he was sacrificed in the late into the first half, just to miss out the rest of the game. But honestly, like Oishi said, I would definitely be okay with Marcanic getting his first shot or like his first start with the Dynamo, because he's been promising a lot of preseason, but obviously that's preseason.
Yeah, I think I think it's a term as far as like uh what are you looking for from that nine, right? Because if Linger starts, obviously I think he's more of a false nine because he can fall back and he can provide service to Guillerme or to Borges, whereas Markinich is a straight number nine and he's a target striker, so he's not that type that's going to fall back and try to provide an assist to the other guys. He's going to go up there and fight for the ball and try to get that tap in, or or that goal from inside the box. So I think it's I think you get more flexibility and more versatility with Linger starting. Obviously, like I said, Markinich came in and had a great preseason, and you kind of like to see the kid be given a legit chance to see if they can go if it can go on into the regular season with Ponce out. But man, it's obviously at the end of the day been in the coaching staff, see what this team is providing and what it's capable of, and then obviously if they think that they need more flexibility and versatility up front, I think Linger is the correct answer to go up there. And like I said, and like another thing as well, going back to the Semasenko and Ache debate, it's either or, right? Because at the end of the day, if the game is close, and let's say the Dynamo are up 1-0, you do want a veteran presence to come in like Achi to kind of hold the game, make sure that there's no mistakes in the midfield as far as giving up the ball and giving up the attack and things like that, and kind of hold everybody kind of steady and good. But like Semasenko, obviously, like I said, he's been out there. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of the guy since he's been here. We haven't seen a lot of the guy. We don't know what his true potential is. I mean, obviously, he's playing in the Bundesliga. He's a lot younger. Obviously, has a lot more versatility and a lot more velocity than Ache. But again, sometimes you need the intelligence and the proven track record of a proven winner over the physical traits. But we'll see how it shapes up to be. Kobe on the chat says Ali U starting 9 for Max Chaos. Man, you want Shell Energy Stadium to burn that day. uh, that's a funny comment. Shout out to Kobe. What's going on, my guy? OSG, what's going on, my guy? You were over there stressing with me with my little statement.
Yeah, your debate, man. Your Ache love. I mean,
Hey,
he's
I love the guy.
not your defensive holding player of the past. He's an offensive player who will feed those passes, who does not track back and will not defend properly. So that's why I said if you're going to start him, he's not making it past halftime, or he makes it to 54 or whatever.
Yeah,
You put him in late when you need a goal, when you're trying to force a goal where that man can create and be the man that he is. But to use him and to utilize him in a position where you're expecting to defend, no. This game fits against Portland where he can be an attacker for 45 minutes in the first half. And if we're losing, we made mistakes
for
and
sure.
we didn't properly prepare for this game. So this is a good game. I do agree with you. This is a good game for Achiate to start. And I would not disapprove of him starting. But his role is an attacking player to feed and fit. He's not a defensive player. He's not your DCM, he's not that defensive player no more. So we
Yeah,
had that player, as Andreas says, and we're gonna play it.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
I enjoy his role, what he's here to do, and he's coming back and playing his role in his role.
yeah.
But he's not gonna start this game unless I do agree. He could start, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. But like I said, just like I said, we're just throwing out there hypotheticals, right? Because of obviously we're always trying to get into the mind of our beloved coach and see what possibilities are available for him. And obviously, when we do the show next week or whatever week we Monday morning quarterback whether or not he made the right decision or
I share
fitting
the same birthday with Ben. We're in tune.
we're in tuned. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but like I said, I mean, obviously, a short bench. It's not what you want to. It's not what you want. Obviously, Arthur, who was gonna be a starting six, got injured in preseason, hasn't started. Cheeky's obviously has been filling in for Arthur valiantly. Unfortunately for him, he got caught up in that incident and got a red card, which knocks him off here. But like I said, when circumstances arise, who is going to step up to the plate? And we're hoping Simasako. Uh, did I say that right?
Samaseku.
Samasenko uh, does come in and does a great job because I mean, like I said, The kid has experience in the Bundesliga. That I believe he's in his late 20s. I mean, so the guy, if I was him, I would be itching to get on the pitch and to showcase what I can do. So to gain more trust from the coaching staff and be available for them and more determining times during the pitch instead of garbage time minutes during the game. So that's, as a player, it's a challenge for me to want to showcase my skills and make it tough on this coaching staff to pick somebody over me. So, anything else, guys, you want to add on that as far as the who's in and who's out on the starting 11 before we get to our lovely predictions here? No, I'm taking that as a no.
Nah,
Andres,
we're good. We're good. No surprises. I think we already discussed who's going to start. Nothing to surprise. As you mentioned, the bench. You'll probably see Arana come back again on the bench. Maybe another surprise. Maybe a
well,
Liu.
let
You
me
know.
ask you. Listen, you brought him up. Obviously, the young 15-year-old made his debut last
Mhm.
2 weeks ago against LAFC. Had a little bit of an opportunity inside the box. Which everybody got excited about at the end of the match. Do you think he gets another couple of minutes, depending on? I mean, obviously, it all depends on how the game goes, right? But do you think he gets a little bit of time out there and to run around and stretch his legs? OSG.
Right in this game, yeah, that's a possibility. So look, I didn't think he was going to play at all. I thought he was just on the bench for show, and
Well,
then
circumstances.
Ben plays him. So now that Ben has played him, and he had a good performance when he played for a 15-year-old in the MLS, yeah, Ben's going to use him again and give him more opportunities, and it'll be in absolute Ben's mind where he has the game in securance or we've lost the game in absolute, and the kid will play. And he'll gain more minutes. And if he continues to play well, he'll get more minutes and significant minutes. And we'll see. But I love to see it. And I love to see that Ben actually utilized the 15-year-old and got to play the kid, which opens his mind and opens our minds that Ben might use more kids because those has some kids that are thriving and thrilling and play for the U.S. The women's. Sorry, I'm on my dash side still because that's what's going in my mind 100%. But
Shout out Dash.
playing for the U.S. youth national team on several levels and killing it right now. They've won 2 games, 2-0, 4-0. Haven't given up a goal yet this season. Was the youngest team last year. Oh my, Dose is killing it with these players. So I'm hoping there's an opportunity, and the academy is coming up, and you're going to start seeing the academy reach Dynamo, and Ben's going to utilize these players. That's my bold statement for the year with Ben. Ben,
Yeah,
you heard me.
I gotta kind of agree with G Money on the chat. What's going on, Giuseppe? He says I feel it was only due to circumstances, which obviously
Right,
the two
right.
red cards and stuff like that, and obviously the game kind of getting out of hand was kind of like the perfect storm to allow Urania to make his debut, right? But obviously, if you think this highly of the player to sign into a first team contract and him being 15 years old, I mean, you can't just have him sit on the bench, you have to give these kids an opportunity, like you mentioned, OSG. Look,
Sebastian
every
Rodriguez
look,
was on the bench a few times.
all the teams around the league, they have no opposition against it. Hey, if you're talented enough, here are some minutes. Go show me what you can do. Around the world, all over the world, there's kids playing at 15, 16, 17, 18 year olds, on the pitch doing great things,
Mhm.
Yamina Ma obviously is the golden standard of what that is right now. Obviously, when he came in for Barcelona, he started as a 16-year-old, and is doing fantastic things, for that club. But we're never gonna be able to truly judge the what Dynamo Dos is actually doing for us as far as development if we never get allowing these players to get on the first team and showcase what they're capable of doing, and so it's like what's the use of having a Dynamo Dos team if you're not graduating these players? And obviously, like I said, players like Mikael, Felipe Andrade have come through it, and it's helped us develop the South Americans that's come over to give them a game or two down there in the lower league and then move them up. But what about the homegrown? You know, because at the end of the day, that's what we're in this market. That's the reason your your professional team is able to be able to go sign these big name players because you have homegrown players coming in and you're developing them, you're graduating them, and you're allowing them to play. You know, and they're compared to other players a cheaper player, you know, and you're trying to you try and if you're not allowing those players to come in, all you're doing is just spending money on players from abroad to come in, and you know you can never have a fully capable first team that's able to, um, be a true championship contender if you don't have it. Think of Seattle. Seattle's always a annual MLS Cup contender, right? But they develop their players. You know, I remember a couple of years back, they had like seven players from their second team play because of all the injury they had, and I think they even won that game. You know, um, LAFC is not scared of doing it. Galaxy not scared of doing it. Inter Miami obviously not scared of doing it as well, but Dynamo just need to get ahead and utilize these players. And like I said, and not just do it for show. These players need to showcase themselves as well. Like if they get the opportunity, they need to grab the bull by the horns and showcase what they're able to do. Andres, same question. Orana, do you think he gets another go this week?
Mm, it's a little bit tricky because going back to what Jimoni said about being circumstantial, I feel like at the right situation he could play in the second half. It's only tricky because how he's gonna be needed in the game. It's like if we're looking into a situation where we need young blood or something new to try and open up the game, it's a possibility, but it's tough because we are going into this game with players that are missing, and the expectation that players with more experience are going to be taking over in the second half just to try and get a win here because we've already lost in the season, so we have to get back and take advantage of the situation that we're still at home. We have to get 3 points no matter what, and I do hope that Matthew gets that opportunity to play because he definitely deserves it, as well as some of the kids in Dynamo dos, because like we just said, like they have a ton of energy, they have the drive to represent the first team and Houston because they're coming up from different situations, and yeah, man, I'm only hoping for Matthew to get that opportunity again because he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, on the chat, Greg and Orange says, I'm also still upset about Sebastián Rodriguez. What more did he have to do to see the first team? I mean, that's another example. Obviously, he's in Monterrey on loan right now, trying to make it through in there with Liga MX, Rayados, and all that stuff. And it looks like he's doing really good over there. But I mean, it's just like I said, if you're developing these players, especially the homegrown players, and they're showcasing themselves to the point where you can sign them to a first team contract, then give them the opportunity. Don't just go out here and give these kids first team contracts just to say, hey, look how many kids we signed to first team contracts. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the minutes they get on the pitch. And if they're but like I said, but they have to earn those minutes. The thing with Matthew, Andres just said under the right opportunity. To me, it's like, well, when is the right opportunity? Do we have to get our ass kicked, be down by 4 goals to allow 15-year-olds to come play, or do we have to be winning by 4 goals to allow the kid to come play? Like, why can't he play during a time of the game where, like, hey, we need some creativity or we need some young blood, some youth out there, and just let the kid go out there and see. Let's see what he can bring to help make a decision in this game. Like like I said, if you think that much of the kid and he's that talented to sign him to a first team contract, then allow him to show his talents. So, but
The
again,
right
that's
opportunity is when the coach utilizes him in practices and recognizes, like you just said, what he can do and his talents can do, and you do sign him to that first team contract. You believe in him. You've seen it. What he can do with your own players. You brought these players in because you like these players. They fit your system. He fits your system. Play him. That's
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, especially look, if he's obviously, I'm not prelude to practices and training all that stuff, but if he's out there hustling and you see him outrunning outrunning the guys and stuff like that, and going after every 50-50 ball, and doing whatever he can to showcase himself and stuff like that. That needs to go under acknowledgement as well. And I can't just be like, hey, well, look, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes of garbage time if this happens. Like, nah, man, look, I'm ready to say as a coach, like, look, I'm gonna give you a good 10-15 regardless of what's going on. You know, if that means I put you in for 10 to 15 minutes, and it's a crucial time of the game where, hey, your play can help us turn a loss into a tie or a tie into a win, then I need you to show me that I put my faith in you, and I need you to repay me back for that faith that I put in you. So, but like I said, it's tough, obviously with professional leagues, because it's a win now type of deal, and obviously, when you lose, especially with the last game being how horrible it was for the team, it's every decision is put under a microscope when it goes wrong, but it is also praised when it goes right. It's just who has the balls to make that decision, and to allow themselves to be either crucified or praised at the end of the day. But let's go to prediction, guys. Uh, Andres, I'll start with you first, my guy. Predictions for this game tomorrow. Portland Timbers, our third game at home, our third game of the season. What do you think will happen tomorrow, Saturday night at Shell?
I'm thinking 3-1 Houston.
I see what you did there. 3 games, 3 home games, 3 goals. I got you. 3-1 Houston. Who scores your goals?
I'll go for, assuming that Ponce is not playing, I'm gonna go with Lawrence, Bogush, and in the second half, I got Hector Herrera. That's a surprise.
Oh, Ache town. But speaking of Ache, Inali and Borges are 2 players that we need to see. We need to see something. We need to see something. We have a lot. We have a lot invested in those 2 guys, and I think those 2 guys are going to be crucial to this team being a playoff contending team or a championship contending team. Those guys need to start picking it up. I'm sorry, OSG, your prediction.
Aliu scores on an own goal.
Dynamo are losing 0-1 to you, or what?
No, he scores, but it's an own goal, so he doesn't get credit for it.
Damn. Hey,
so it's a credit for the Dynamo, but no. I'm with Andreas. I'm with everybody else. That was 3-1 or 2-0. I think we win by 2, regardless. We win by 2, maybe 3-1, just because the 2 replacements got to be. But I'm confident in the replacements, so I like the 2-0 score line. But 3-1 is a good score line, because I'm been positive in our offensive performance this season. I'd like to see more. Obviously, LAFC was a 0, and we've only had 1 other game, but I've seen some of the preseason too. So I'd like to see more. So 3-1 would be great. 2-0, 3-0 would be spectacular.
G Money is Giuseppe's on there on board with you. He said, "I would love to watch Aliu score." And Greg is with Andres. He says, "Ache set piece curler top corner." That would have, the crowd would go wild for that one too. So so you're saying 2-0 OSG, and Andres is saying 3-1.
Correct. Yeah, let's stick with 2-0.
Who's scoring your goals, OSG? I think I missed that. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no, that's mine. Jesus, that's incredible question, because that's hard to predict every week. There's 11 people that can score on this team. Somehow Bond might score as well. God, on the I'm going to agree with Andreas on 1. Bogus is going to score his goal. The second one, that one, Jesus. One of the defenders, Alter's going to score. Yeah.
Off a corner or what?
Yeah, off a corner or a rebound where they finish it, but it's going to be off a corner. It's not going to be the
One of the
rebound.
defenders, you mean Aliyu, right?
Well, you already did the hot take. I didn't want to. I didn't want to overtake your hot take, but yeah, Aliyu is going to
Hey,
score.
might as well come in hot.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna make a comeback to the team, might as well come back high score. And what can you do better than scoring your goal on your return to Houston? Um, I think I'm gonna follow OSG in here as far as the score line. I think it's gonna be 2-0 Dynamo. And what I'm gonna look for a Borges brace. I think Borges needs to get off this fat zero, and he needs to
Yep.
start showcasing a little bit more than what we've seen the past two
yeah,
games. Because obviously he is our hugest investment for this offseason, and obviously we need him to get going, and we need him to gain confidence and see that ball hit the back of the net. So I'm going to go with a Borges brace. Hopefully he does that in the first half, so that way we can get done with them early. And then maybe open it up and have other players score. But I'm going to follow the 2-0 score line that OSG said earlier. And obviously, it would be great if it's 3-1 with Andres. Who knows? Maybe even a blowout. I would love to see a blowout, just to see different people put the ball in the back of the net, because I think, obviously after the failure of that LAFC match, we need to get away from that and move forward and see as much positivity as we can. And like I said, this is our third straight game at home, and we need to utilize the advantage of being at home and making shell of home field advantage again, like we used to have it prior to
Oh,
what
no.
prior to the disaster of last season. So we'll see what happens. Greg and Orange's halter is supposed to be good in the air. Yeah, I mean he's a big guy. And Kyle, what's up, Kyle? I just want us to make it through a game with 11 players. My guy got a low bar for the Dynamo. Yeah, man, that would be
Hey,
great.
Kyle, low key, you take a red card every game. No, my bad. I should have do a shout out. But
Yeah, but I also want some of those 11 players to score some goals for us too as well. So I could care less about all 11 players being on there, but I want the goals and the win. So whatever we have to do to make sure that we're doing both is what I'm up for, and I'm looking forward to. Guys, obviously Dynamo. We speak Dynamo here, and that's our majority of our talk when we talk here on Noodle Time. But obviously there's other stuff going on in the league that that kind of do determine a little bit of talking points. And obviously my um thing, I would love to hear the opinion on the people in the chat, and obviously I'm going to ask Andres and OSG here on the show as well. But obviously news broke that two players have been given a lifetime ban for gambling, and one is a former Dynamo player, Derek Jones Jr., who was with the Dynamo for maybe half a season, if I'm remember correctly, and another guy was a year bond, who the last time we faced him scored a brace against us when he was with Minnesota United. One of those forwards that I think is the same guy. Yeah, yeah, is it the same guy? I think I was looking up that. He was a forward with the Minnesota United the last time we saw him, and he scored a brace against us. Yeah, I think it's the same guy. Um, but yeah, a lifetime ban. Obviously, other gambling scandals have been happening around the other leagues in the NFL, NBA, and things of that nature. But obviously, we've seen players being suspended for a season in the NFL for first-time offenders. We've seen players lose game money in a couple of games in the NBA. Right now, there is one exception. There was a player who's been given a lifetime ban by the name of Porter, because he was making bets that included his own team. So that right there, obviously, that's basically shaving points or whatever the case may be. I'll come to you first, OSG. Obviously, we see around the world, around the leagues, especially here in the United States, the legal betting, and obviously the betting companies are sponsor everything. Kits, uh, arenas, they're on the logos, they're on commercials, they're sponsoring everything. shoot, I hope we get I hope we get a betting company to sponsor us one day. Um, but obviously, with legalized gambling and how huge the sports market is for gambling nowadays, and it's only going to grow, continue to grow, especially the more that's being legalized and more availability through mobile apps and things of that nature. Um, what are your thoughts about it as far as players being allowed to bet or to gamble and things of that nature? Obviously, it's to bet in your own league against your own team or things like that, like that nature is something that's unforgivable. But just betting overall,
Well, betting is allowed, but you can't bet against your own team. You can't bet against your own team. That is illegal.
that's the cardinal sin.
That's a cardinal sin. You're stupid. You're Pete Rose. You're Pete Rose, a Hall of Fame baseball player, wants to go out and bet on his own team and ruin his career and gets lucky after death to get put to be allowed back in where his ban is over, but he can't do it because he's gone. So, like, dude, you're stupid, bro. And like, you're not a starter. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything for us. You were you were a player that was liked and you ruined yourself. You ruined your own career, you dumbass, for betting. Come on, dumbass. Jesus Christ, bro. Stupid. Bet on everybody else. You have a million soccer leagues in the world and you want to bet on yourself? You dumbass.
I
Bet.
like that. If we were able to make an article on this and just say whatever, the headline here would be "dumbass" for
Yeah.
by
So,
OSG. Andres, I want to ask you the same question. Obviously, like I said, betting being as it is legal now, it's not just say, hey, I the thing about it is, I don't know if Derrick Jones or Yerbon went and did and firsthand made the bets themselves, right? If they did it like that, obviously the stupidity, dumbass, like OSG said. But a lot of times, especially like the big case that we had last year going in with the Shohei Otani situation, where his interpreter was supposedly putting in these bets and whatever. How are you able to control that narrative when as myself as a player, I might have somebody, hey, put in a couple dollars here and there, blah blah blah. This and that. It's not under me, it's under you. How are we able to control that narrative, and how do we able to really say, hey, this guy is betting and blah blah blah, and me saying, hey, but it's not me, it's them. Yeah, they're in my entourage or whatever, but I mean, I can't control what everybody's doing all at the same time.
Yo, apparently it's been an ongoing investigation for a while. I can't recall when he was suspended. It was probably like about a month ago or a little bit over. But yeah, they went through an investigation with a third party, and like you said, it appears like he was betting on his own team, which I don't know how you are smart enough to do that, because you are definitely gonna get in trouble and you're gonna get banned for life.
dumbass.
It's absolutely like boneheaded move. Like that's like absolute bonehead, man. Like if you are an adult and you know how to gamble, I mean, do it in any other sport, but man, on your own team, you have to be really stupid, man. Like it's just
Hashtag dumbass.
ridiculous. But yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, like it's like obviously we have the fact that sports gambling in general, like the reach has skyrocketed because you can just have it on your phone. Even if it's illegal in Texas, like you can still like either go to Louisiana and do it there, or get a VPN and gamble here. So honestly, like it's a matter of self control more than anything. So I mean, you just got to do better, or like actually know what you're doing.
I was kind of contemplating before I had all the details about the whole situation, right? Because it's one of those things where I was like, man, a lifetime ban. Wow, that's a heavy hammer to lay down, right? Because this is the first time of me hearing about it, especially involving these players, right? So I was like, wow, like MLS is really trying to like not go down the road of the NFL or NBA to where like,
Yeah.
hey, like we do not need this controversy in our league. So in a way, I was like, I wanted to applaud the league in a little bit, but then obviously when I found out the full details and they were betting their own clubs, I was like, yeah, that's the cardinal sin.
Yeah.
It would have been one thing had, like they say, they were placing bets on other teams that didn't have nothing to do with them. Okay, maybe I would have been like, hey, maybe give them a year off or whatever, this and that, whatever. But the fact that they were betting on their own team, meaning that they had the opportunity to either cause something to do. They were out there intentionally trying to do something to affect the game to fall under what they needed to fall under for them to win the bet. You're match fixing at this point now, which obviously I'm very familiar with when it comes to international soccer because there was a huge scandal, and this is back in the days in the 2011 Gold Cup with my national team that really basically kind of destroyed our progression, and like 15 of those players got suspended and whatever, and it kind of just killed the whole thing. But yeah, once you start getting to the match fixing things and you start placing bets on your own team where you have direct contact as far as how you can determine a game or not, yeah, I have to agree with the lifetime ban and stuff like that. We cannot allow players to have the opportunity to think that they have the chance to persuade outcomes because they have money involved on certain bets, and that's not good. Greg and Orange says gotta lay the hammer so feds don't get involved. Kyle says if we don't get screwed by for refs for easy win. Oh, he was talking about the game last time, and I think somebody made a comment about the ref. What if the ref had a bet or whatever? Then hey, let's talk about that situation as well. I mean, that's another situation where you know, obviously the referee of the last game was the red card against Antonio Carlos was one of those. I think it was one of those things that we were kind of, it was a weak red or whatever. And then I think he comes out on social media talking about, it was a mistake, but we'll do better and all this. And obviously everybody kind of chewed him up and and all that stuff. Well, how do you feel about things like that as well? Like, obviously the ref is, you know, you got the game going on a fast pace. You can only make a decision based off what you saw, but obviously you do have the benefit of having VAR, and he decides not to go to use it. And when you decide to make that decision to not use it when it's available to you, then you're open to criticism as much as you're able to get criticized for. Because if you got it wrong, you got it wrong. OSG, your thoughts on the ref?
Yeah. So quick clarification: VAR is used at every opportunity of the game. They declared really quick. They agreed with him, so they need ample opportunity to. It's a mistake, so they have to signal down and tell him he made a mistake for him to go back and look at it. He obviously scraped the back of his foot. It's something that happens 20 times a frigging game. So yes, it was a weak red card. It was a stupid red card. It was a blown call. Freeman was a dumbass. Here we go with the hashtag again, dumbass. To go on social media and even post a picture and say, hey, we move and we do a better job. And then to react to people who reacted to his post, and then he wants to go and block them. Bro, you're stupid. You're a dumbass, okay? And then you go out last weekend, and I don't even remember who Atlanta played in the game that there was controversy. Arcel, yes, controversy in that game as he was the center as well. So, John Freeman, take a fucking break and relax, dumbass, and stay off social. Don't bet on yourself either, okay? Right now, take a break. That's all I gotta say.
You're on mute, Mark.
Unmute yourself, yeah. Sorry.
No, yeah. You're on mute, Mark.
But
yeah.
John Freeman, give him a red card, Mark. Now that you're back, give John Freeman the red card himself.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy because like this episode could be, obviously we can retitle it "Dumbass," but
there we go.
it's it's crazy, right? You like I said, you open yourself up to criticism like that, and obviously to
Yeah.
block everybody. I mean, I don't know what he expected. I mean, I know my friend Giuseppe was on there, you know, doing clowning him and whatever, and other people from the fan base of the Dynamo were in there saying stuff to him as well. But I mean, but look, I mean, you made a mistake. The AR made a mistake and things of that nature, and it was what it was. I
Mhm.
mean, we're not expecting you to be perfect on the match. Obviously, humans make mistakes and stuff like that. But I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you're able to correct it right there and then do that. You know, don't wait till after the match and after everything's gone downhill and things of that nature, and then you're able to like see it and replay and all that stuff. Like that's the whole point of the VAR. You have the opportunities to look at it. Now they might have agreed with you on the VAR, but I mean, like I said, you gotta talk to those guys too, because I mean, if they agreed with it as well, then it's like, then I can understand where, like, okay, well, the guys on the VAR say they agree with me, so there's no need for me to go see it. So I can kind of take away the blame from him on a little bit, because obviously the guys who are on there to watch the screen and are actually watching the replay, they have the guys, they have them on the earpiece saying, hey, look, I know you made this call, but you might want to go look at it. But if they're telling me that, no, we agree with you, then hey, okay, they agree with me, they looked at it, cool, I'll keep the game moving. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Andres, you were saying something. I'm sorry, my guy.
No, yeah, pretty much that. I was just laughing at that joke about the ref betting on the game.
Yeah, man, it's an unfortunate thing, but like I said, the game, that first half was pretty good, obviously, because it was kind of a stalemate. You know, for the last couple of years, we've had LAFC's number. We kind of match up well with those guys, and obviously that win against us, this it was the first win since 2019 in Houston. So obviously we've had their number at home as well. So it's just a disappointing thing, and obviously after such a come from behind win against Chicago in the first match, and then to get pounced like that at home, which is resemblance of last season at home. It's not something you want to see. So, but anyways, we'll move on from that, guys. Obviously, we're coming to the end of the show. Is there anything else that I might have missed, or anything else that you want to include before we go with our end credits? If not,
I do.
oh,
I do.
so
I want it. Hey, y'all, NWSL season has started. Houston Dash start this weekend on the road in San Diego. Dash Dispatch is having a great time. Danny H Town, Houston's own H Town Sports fangirl, is doing a great job joining us on the show. We have a new one, a new person later to announce. We'll wait until that person makes her appearance, and
mhm,
then we'll let y'all know who that is. You'll have to see for yourself once she makes that appearance.
It's
And,
nice.
gonna be good.
but check it out. Foxtrot TV on all platforms, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, that's where we're at. And as right there, Andreas is holding it up.
For
Champion.
sure. Obviously, guys, just a reminder for those who haven't seen us, or who are joining us, or have just joined us right now. Obviously, we are on our road to 400 subscriptions for our YouTube page, which is Foxtrot TV, as OSG mentioned. And once we get to 400, I have a giveaway that I want to do. It's going to be a bunch of autographed memorabilia from our Dynamo legends. So once I get all that done, and all that collected, I will showcase it to you guys. But it's going well.
Yeah, he's
I
firing
got
up that Aligi collection. He's gonna be sought after a lot.
It's gonna be very sought off after, man. That guy's gonna come in and score a goal, and he's gonna up his value double the time. But with that being said, guys, Andres, let the people know where they can find us.
Of course. First of all, thank you so much to everybody that has been tuning in live on YouTube and X. Appreciate everybody watching live, and also everybody engaging in the comments. Catalyst, G Money, Greg in Orange, Kyle's Vlog, Sergio was as well. Everybody that has been tuning in, we appreciate you guys always. And Colby, Wise2AK, of course, their scarf, um, and Public Enemy. Thank you guys so much for you for engaging in the comments as well, and for all your questions. And of course, like what you just said, Dash season is right around the corner. So if you guys haven't checked out Dash Dispatch already, and all of our content that we've been posting and all of our platforms, get caught up. We just posted our season preview, so check it out if you haven't already. DynamicFoxtrot.com is gonna be the spot for you to get everything that we are working on all in one place. All of our podcast episodes, Fox in the Box, all of our pictures coming up. We're gonna have those posted right there on our website, so check it out if you haven't already. And like all she said, like all of our episodes, including that dispatch, you can always watch or listen to also on our website as well. Even if you don't have like a player, you can just go to the browser. You can just play it from your device, wherever you are, and it's also a good place to check it out. So yeah, dynamicfoxtrot.com, at Dynamic Foxtrot, whatever your social medias, of course, X, Instagram, Blue Sky. We also have at Noodle Tiempo on X, making sure that we have you covered on all bases. And yeah, man, it's insane. We do have tons of soccer starting this weekend. All three teams are going to be playing, so it's going to be absolute insanity. So make sure you are staying tuned to us.
Yeah, guys, and obviously, I just like to reciprocate what Andres says. Appreciate everybody for the support, the love, and the subscriptions. Like I said, we're on our road to 400, and once we get there, there'll be a nice little giveaway and we'll figure out how we'll do that as well. Shout out to always,
Don't
shout out
forget
to
about the Spanish side of it and Herman with El
Of course,
Dynamico and
Dinamico knows
Dynamico.
he's. Herman has been going to all the events, and we've been putting a lot of content for Dinamico since we're kicking things off. We
En
just posted our
español.
third episode today, so go check it out. Dinamico.
Shout out to OSG and the Dash Dispatch. Shout out to the ladies of NWSL. Kiki, I still love you. Shout out to Herman and Dinamico. If you don't check them out, check them out. Our dude in Spanish, habla todo, chambea todo fútbol y todo eso. So follow him. And like I said, guys, we appreciate the love and support, and we'll see you here next Thursday. Hopefully, talking a Dynamo win against Portland Timbers. But with that being said, guys, H is up for H Town. We're gonna hold it down. Hold it down for H Town. Let's get it. Let's win. Go Dynamo. Go Dash. Go Dino Dose. Let's go, guys.
H is up.
Stay noodle, y'all.
Stay noodle.